What's going on, guys? So we're back again with another gameplay video. This time we have Pat here on the left playing King Piccolo, and we have Perth Pro Players team member Jake here on the right playing Zamasu and Goku Black. So, as you can see, Jake, huge fan of Goku Black and Zamasu. I think specifically Goku Black is a real favorite. Shout out to a local guy named Jesse for designing that Goku Black mat. That mat is absolutely incredible. He has some awesome designs. You may see them popping up on some of the Australian pages. If you do, make sure you grab one because they are absolutely amazing. They're incredible. Look, awesome deck. Obviously got the alternate win con of the ramp. So when he gets to a certain amount of energy, I believe it's 10 or something like that. I can't remember exactly. Haven't played this leader in such a long time. But he can get that alternate win con and just bottom deck for life, right? Just get rid of it straight away, which is pretty insane. And then you've also got the King Piccolo here, starting at 6 life. Probably one of the most aggressive red decks we've seen in a very long time. The deck is still really good. I think people thought it was dead once Drum got taken down to 1, but it's still very, very strong. I feel like red is still in a very good position. I'm not too sure if Pat is running the new SCR, all the girls, the Saiyans. That SCR is absolutely incredible as well for this deck. Can be really, really aggressive and just add that extra bit of power to the deck. That not that it really needed it, but it gives that little bit of extra something just to kill the opponent. But the fact that you get a combo from life is just so very, very strong with this deck. I guess it makes sure you don't lose cards from hand. You draw a lot off that Awaken as well, and then you've got your Piccolo, which is an absolute powerhouse of a unison as well. Being able to draw a card every turn, have the Rejuvenate if you ever need it, or board clear, plus being able to, I guess, fend off the opponent when they try to counter with a body, right? Which is not really going to happen too often, I don't think, in this deck, but that's okay. But it's still such a powerful effect that's just hanging around all the time. Now, we got our turn 1, so we got our piano, which is great. We didn't get, it looks like, hopefully we've seen our unison by now. We've drawn a few cards. I think we've got 3 super combos in hand, and it looks like we've got our unison, so that's perfect. We've got our unison, that means we plus, and then we can go for more and more draws, really, because we got our Awaken as well, which is absolutely insane. The fact that we've also got the Awaken means that we're in a very, very good position, starting at exactly the same life we started the game, which is okay, right? 6 life. You'll find sometimes as the Piccolo player as well, sometimes you do just hang around that 5 to 6 life. Sometimes you can just stay that high because your opponent just can't get through with your Rejuvenates as well, using your battle cards. Sometimes you kind of force yourself to go down to 4 at times. But it looks like what we're going to do is we are going to use the effect of the leader on this swing. Looks like we're going to go for the tambourine for the combo. So we're going to hit the tambourine in the combo. Now, I believe we need to have 3, I think it's 3 face up to get the effect, or something underneath the unison, which is perfect. We've just put something underneath the unison just there. I don't think Pat has gone for the draw yet either, which I'm assuming he's going to do right now, plussing another marker. Now we've got something underneath our unison. We can actually get the plus and the restand on our tambourine, which is great to see, right? So we're getting that extra effect and extra pressure into Zamasu and Goku Black right now, because they can Awaken. I believe it's when there's a certain amount of shared energy. I can't remember the exact number, so my apologies, guys. But when there's a certain amount of shared energy between the two of you, you are able to Awaken early. So the fact that he can do that is very, very strong. So I think what Pat is trying to do now is just force some damage through while he is on the front side, right? Get this damage through so he goes down to 4 life. So when he does Awaken, it's not even harder to get this damage through, right? He's in a little bit more of a comfortable position. Being an aggro deck as well, he can apply a hell of a lot of pressure, which can wear down Jake's hand. So it's going to be interesting to see what he goes for here. Now, we do have, I can see that Zamasu on the far, far right. Only problem is we do have to usually union, I believe it's Union Patara into it. So we do have to have the cards on the board to be able to Union Patara. So we need a Goku Black and we need a Zamasu on the board for us to be able to achieve that effect, right? So I can see he's running the Zamasu that ramps, just there, ramps in energy, which is great. And we've also got access, I'm sure, to some cheap Goku Blacks or some Goku Blacks that can play out for free, so we can get our get our Unipatara going, so we can go into that, because Tragedy Overground, I guess, clears most of the board. The only downside to that is this deck is just, it's full of 3 costs, right? Like good 3 costs as well. They're very, very powerful 3 costs. So the fact that he has access to that is pretty insane. But it looks like Jake is going to swing, Pat's going to attack, Jake's going to grab a Zamasu super combo off the top of the deck, which is a pretty nice card for him to grab as well. Looks like we're going to play into the Goku Black. So this is the one that actually ramps the opponent as well, which is pretty cool. So we're going to get the ramp on the opponent. Looks like we got the ramp ourselves. Hopefully, which a fair majority of this deck is battle cards. There's only really a few extra cards and unisons that you do run. So I'm hoping that we do get the plus here off this Goku Black, because I think going the alternate win con is probably the best option, but it is kind of hard at this point, I have a feeling. Now, it looks like Jake potentially has a chance to go to pay 1 and go into the Zamasu. The only scary thing here, though, is I'm not too sure if this Goku Black has barrier or how much energy it actually has. I believe it does have barrier, so it's got that protection, which is quite nice. So it's not going to get hit by the Yamcha on the play, because otherwise the Yamcha would just straight kill it, and then you're not getting the effect or anything like that. But it looks like we're potentially going into the Unipatara. Yep, Unipatara straight away. That's quite nice. So we're going straight for that. Get that on the board. I don't believe it does anything on play. I can't remember. It's just the fact that it is an indestructible body that's just going to be sitting there. And that is, we've seen all 4 copies. I wouldn't doubt, though, being a ramp deck, that Jake runs some amount of Zeno super combo, so he can pick up things as he needs to, because I think that's very important. Hopefully he can use that 1 energy that he did ramp off the Zamasu, right? That's the ideal thing. That's probably what you want. I'm assuming we just start swinging into some of these bodies, so probably going into the Tambourine, because that is a huge threat all the time. It's quite annoying, especially when he can go into the Piccolo as well, potentially next turn. Buff it up, make it like a 40k swing all the time. It's pretty insane. But it looks like we are going to use the effect of the leader here. Going into the symbol, right? So that's a great card. Comboing 1 more, and I dare say that it's going to be a Demon Clan card, which is exactly what it is. Comboing off that Demon Clan card. He would play out the... yep, so good thing he picked it up. We are going to play out the symbol. And the fact that we've got Piano now into the drop area allows us to put that card underneath and draw an extra card, right? So this is why this deck is so great as well. That card is absolutely insane. It just makes sure your hand stays quite large over the course of the game and allows you to draw a lot of cards. Now, it's going to be interesting. This is actually an interesting turn probably for Pat. He can apply a lot of pressure, but the fact that Jake could have Hatch, right? SCR, there is that potential that he's got that. He can just really protect himself. So it looks like we're going to draw, probably just taking it straight to 6, maybe. Maybe not. Looks like we're just going to the 5. So I guess if he wants it, he's got access to it if he really needs it. We're going to swing into, I'm assuming, leader to leader. Again, Jake is still on the front side, right? So he didn't flip that turn. He could have, but he didn't flip that turn. I'm assuming for some reason, right? Jake is quite tactical in what he does. Doesn't do things for no reason, so he would probably stay unawakened for a reason. So it looks like we're going to put 3 in, I believe. Pick up 3 face down life, right? Which is great to see. Now we've got access to, I believe that is the one of drum in there. And we've got access to another tambourine. We don't want tambourine, but we do have symbol, I believe, in there as well. Which would be quite nice, being able to get access to symbol, get some more draws, as long as we can combo something else off. But let's see what Pat decides to do here. Maybe even comboing this Piccolo from hand, which will allow him to combo another one, right? So comboing Piccolo from hand to combo another one. Maybe he wants to take himself down to 4. So we are going to combo the other symbol, right? He may even now go for the effect of the leader. Let's see what he decides to do. Sorry. He's still at 6. My apologies. It wouldn't even take him down. But he does have the chance to go into something else if he wishes. But again, a lot of these 15k swings is quite strong. So he's tapping down the double strike. Going to tap down something else, right? Which more than likely would be the tambourine, I would say. Or he may even go for the piano just to clear that off the board. But it looks like we are going to go for our Awaken 1-on-1. Just to be able to combo a little bit higher, get closer to getting out of this attack. And it looks like we're going to slap a bean behind it as well, right? Which is quite nice for him. So slap a bean behind it. 20k is great against this deck, right? Most of the deck is 15ks. We're going to attempt to play out into another symbol. Not having anything really to put underneath the Piccolo, but we can combo now, right? This is where we can get value. So we can swing in, and although it will be a 1-for-1, we can pretty much just get that card straight back, which is quite nice. So we are going to swing in with Tambourine here. Now, I'm assuming we get that buff when we get the restand, which is great. I'm assuming Jake will probably just tap this card down here, right? So it's not another swing coming through. But it is 20-20 right now, which is quite nice. Let's see what he decides to go for. Looks like we're just going to probably leave it from 20-20. So more than likely, it can be the 5k. But I guess if he wants to super combo, it does protect against this tambourine a little bit more. He may even decide just to go straight for the being at 25. You know that nothing's really getting through at all. So we are going to the 25, it looks like here. Quite nice for him. Yeah, so nothing to tuck underneath the Piccolo, unfortunately. Not tapping down the tambourine, which is also okay. I think we've still got a draw from our Piccolo Unison if he wishes. He could even go for the Rejuvenate. I don't really think it's too needed at this point. I think him just being able to just draw a card would be fine. Just going to check Tragedy. Tragedy is 4 or more. It tucks everything on the play, though. So everything on the play goes into energy, which he does have quite a few cards on the board just there, right? So we've got 5 extra energy that just went in, which would take, I think, Pat up to 9. I think he's at 4 at the moment. No, just 3. So just 8. But it does put him closer to, I guess, Jake's win con, and that's what he wants, right? So we are going to go for the negate. Boom, hit a ramp, which is quite nice. Once again, just being able to get that extra energy. Now, quite easily, I'm sure we're going to be able to go into that Tragedy the next turn, right? We don't have to pay the full 9. We just go the effect of the Zamasu. So it looks like we're going to swing in once again. 25-25, taking it to 20. So we need 5k more. Now, I'm not too sure how worth it is right here. I don't think Jake's got that small of a hand. He's still on 4 life, but you know, having 2 bean is quite nice against this deck. I feel like he's in a very good position for sure. He can just kind of defend if he needs to. I believe he had all 4 beans in his hand as well, if I saw correctly. But the hand is getting a little bit lower, so he probably doesn't want to combo out too much. Pat's maybe thinking he can kind of profit off this a little bit, that the hand is going down. So we are going to take it looks like, to 30k. So needing a 10k to get out of it. We've got a Zamasu, tapping down piano. Yeah, which isn't too bad at all. We are going to then use the effect of the other symbol to plus, drawing another card. And as I said, I'm pretty sure we still have the Piccolo Unison plus as well. Potentially, I could be wrong. I may have miscounted before, but I'm pretty sure we do still have that draw left as well. So we're going to build up that hand a little bit more. I'm hoping that Pat doesn't miss it, or he didn't miss it, because he may have done it before and I just missed it myself. Potentially. It's always hard when you're trying to watch sometimes. So, still got 3 energy up. So we still got some energy to play with. It looks like we are just going to swing a 15-15. Interesting to see what Jake does here. I don't think it's worth him really negating. I think he wants Pat to use some cards from hand, to be honest. I think that's probably the better option for him. just use some cards from hand so he has to lose some extra value, and then maybe he can capitalize off that hand going down, because sometimes it does come down if your opponent tries to be too aggressive. You can kind of profit off that. Right now, he could go for the death ball. He wouldn't be able to get the plus or anything like that on it, but he does get the minus, I guess, on the leader, which would be quite strong. But it looks like he's thinking about going for the Kai SCR, which is quite nice. So it looks like we are going to hit that Kai SCR, potentially. So we're not playing the Radiant Saiyans. We are playing Kai SCR this time. That is an excellent SCR in this deck as well. Just be able to put that little bit of extra pressure, even though you didn't need it. Just puts that extra pressure, right? So we are 30-25 right now. So let's see what Jake decides to do, because I don't think he wants to take a double strike. Using another bean, so far out. So there's 3 beans being used just this turn, right? So Pat really trying to force some damage through this turn. And we are just going to combo out there with that extra bean. Now we're sitting on 30. I highly doubt he's going to swing in anymore. I don't think it's worth the amount of cards in hand just to try to get through. But I think Jake is down to at least 1 card in hand right now, which is rather sad, right? Rather sad. So he does have to get that extra ramp, because that was a battle card from the Goku Black, so it was there. Got that extra effect. We are going to draw a card. We probably energy, or we may even just keep it in hand. Potentially just keep it in hand. We can clear off the board, because I believe we have access to that Zamasu, because I'm pretty sure I saw it last turn and I didn't see it get comboed off just then. Sadly, Jake's only got 2 cards in hand though. So Pat was right, I guess, in attacking that often. He was able to really wear down the hand a hell of a lot. And kudos to him for kind of seeing that play and going through with it. So he has committed. I thought he was going to lose quite a few cards from hand, but he did it really well. Made sure he didn't lose too much value, and forced Jake to use quite a few cards from his hand as well. The hand was a lot lower than I thought. I thought Jake still had a decent grip left. Unfortunately, it was not the case, so it was down quite low. It looked like he'd been drawing a lot of cards, but I think most of it had just been ramping, to be honest. I think that was probably the main thing. So we do have an Eliminator now in hand, which is great. Excellent card if you ever played that. Not as strong as it once was, but still a great card. Unfortunately, no energy charge that's yellow, though. We are all mono blue right now. So I'm assuming we're going to go into the Zamasu just here. Yep, so going into the Zamasu, I believe it's 4 energy. Now this allows us to go and get Tragedy, which I'm assuming we're going to enter battle first to try to put some damage through, or at least try to clear that unison a little bit. And then that will allow us to be able to get Tragedy, clear the board, and force Pat to win in other ways, or re-establish a whole entire board, right? Which is quite nice. So we are going to Yamcha in response, it looks like. Get a good minus on it, because it is played by skill. So this one we can hit, because it is played by skill. Let's see what Jake decides to go for. Just here, I'm assuming probably into unison, I would say. Or he may just sack it straight away and go for the thing. But yes, into unison, I think we just try to clear that as much as possible, right? Lose some markers, and then what we can do is sack it just like he is now. Go for the sack, and then allow us to go and get a Tragedy out from the deck. Only 2 cards in hand though, sadly. So, as I said, this deck really doesn't care too much. King Piccolo doesn't care too much about not having a board, because it can establish so easily again. There have been times where you are just able to establish a board out of pretty much nowhere. So all of this is going to go into the energy. I don't think Pat will make the mistake of charging anymore. I think he's definitely going to leave it there. So unless Jake finds some other ways to ramp, the alternate win con's probably not going to tap off just there. Oh, sorry, my apologies. We did get the alternate win con, so he does have it. So, but the fact that Pat was at higher life total than just the 4 made it quite nice for him, right? Which is rather scary. So we did actually have it. My apologies, I must have counted wrong, because I think we did add some extra things to the board, didn't we? Now, this is going to be an interesting turn here. Jake doesn't have a hell of a lot of cards in hand. He is at 4 life, but the fact that Pat can potentially now play out so many free threats, potentially, right? If he can put something that's good in his life, he can play out the free threat and swing a couple times. Now, going to be interesting to see what he decides to do. Unison's at 3, so he's not going to get the rejuvenate, but he can get the draw off the effect. Looks like we are going to swing into leader. Probably putting a super combo in to grab the other card. So grabbing that other card, putting a super combo in. Looks like we got one of the negates, which isn't bad. It is still a double strike. You can still pay 4 for it. You've got so much energy right now. We're going to use the effect of the leader, taking it to 25, being able to draw an extra card, right, which is quite nice. Again, just being able to take that super combo out of life is great. And it gives you more targets, I guess, to be able to put in your life and more targets to combo off, so more things you can flip off the top even. So it looks like we are 25 to 15. I'm assuming Jake probably takes this, but it looks like he is thinking about comboing out. Looks like we're going to take it. Looks like it. Maybe not. We're going to take it. We are going to take it. I think he's going to lose too many cards from hand. Unfortunately, we haven't put a new body out. Now, he does need to defend out of this like Piccolo swing for sure. So it looks like we're going to plus and draw an extra card. Again, Pat's hand, incredibly large still. Very, very easy for him just to draw so many freaking cards and just be able to really establish a board for so little and so cheap and get underneath Tragedy as well. And that's kind of one of the benefits, I think, of this deck around like a blue deck that's running Tragedy. So we are going to go for the King Piccolo. We won't be able to evolve on top of it, right? Because it is a 4 cost, the evolve one. But there is always that potential that you hit the free guy. You could always hit the one that plays out for free and swing some double strike in. So it's extra damage as well. But it looks like we are going to hit another Piccolo. Probably playing that out once again as well, just to check another top 5. I'm assuming if we don't have it in hand, that's probably what Pat is digging for right now. Because a double strike at this time would be great for him. As I said, he does have the negate one in hand, which does have double strike as well. I'm pretty sure it's double strike and blocker, if I remember correctly, and unique. So he can swing in with that. He can pay 4 for it. That's not the end of the world. But it looks like we're going to try force some damage off this 1 cost just here, which I really like. So putting him down to the 2 life, we're trying to force some damage through. So that way we can try to kill with the double strike, which I'm assuming, again, is the free Piccolo. So it looks like we are at 24 right now, because I'm pretty sure the Piccolos are 4K. So 24. Jake able to combo out with just 1 card from hand, which is quite nice. So into 25 there to 24, which is great. Just being able to combo out 1 card is always beneficial. Hitting another 1 cost, I'm assuming exactly the same thing is probably going to happen, right? He's probably going to do exactly the same. Swing in with that, try to force a damage. Looks like we found a 4 cost. No, we did find it this time. So finally found it. So here's our free double striker, which is quite nice to get out onto the board. So potentially we can put the damage through the double strike. Jake does have 2 cards in hand though. So we need to be able to make sure this damage goes through, so we can try to end it with a double strike, which we've got the super combo just there to put it behind. So 14. I'm assuming probably taking up to at least 30, okay, right? At least 30. If not, if you could hit 35, it would probably be ideal and have a little bit to spare. So 24. I'd probably go, say, at least one, maybe 1 more or something like that. But I think 30 would probably be ideal. Make sure he uses those cards from hand, right? That's what we want. We do still have a 15k swing, though, on the board. So if he does use these 2 cards, we're going to guarantee that we get, I guess, this damage through. So it looks like we are taking the damage. Having 4 energy. My apologies. I've been saying we can play the 4 cost. We cannot play the 4 cost. My apologies, guys. We do have Tragedy on the board. I was saying before that that's the one card that we can't really play. So we can't pay 4. The only way we can get a double strike is from this free Piccolo here, right? That's the way we get the double strike. So my apologies, guys. I was talking about the one that plays out for free being able to come out, but no, it cannot. Because Tragedy's on the board, anything 4 or more is not happening. We are, I'm assuming, just going to dump hand behind this right now. There's not really anything in blue that's going to take it. Double strike away, so we are just going to be able to dump hand, get as much as we can on this card, and just force this damage through. And I think that's probably the best option we've got here. Got some more 10Ks. I think there we go. Yeah, so just figuring out that is enough to get it through. So there we go, guys. King Piccolo taking that one. A very aggressive deck. Still absolutely fantastic. Doesn't care about Tragedy Overground. So very, very strong. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please remember to subscribe. Hit that bell to stay notified. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.